case involved a civil suit filed by Felcra Berhad, a statutory body instructed with rural development against a group of legal practitioners and law firms. The dispute arose from a housing project known as Projek Perumahan Kampung Tersusun Generasi Kedua Felcra Berhad located in Seberang Perak. Felcra had engaged the service of two law firms, which are Sharidan and Co, and followed by Adli and Partners, to manage the legal and financial aspect of the project. These include preparing sale and purchase agreements and receiving purchase monies and loan disbursement from various buyers. However, Felcra later discovered that significant sum of money amounting to over 8.3 million ringgit Malaysia were never remitted to them. This led to allegations of serious misconduct and legal breach. The core breach alleged against the defendant include failure to account for and remit client funds, misuse of trust monies held for Felcra, acting without proper authority and transparency, and a breach of fiduciary duties and professional standard expected of lawyers. And then, Felcra's claims against the defendant included professional negligence, breach of contract and trust, misrepresentations, and a demand for full accounting, general damage, aggravated and exemplary damage, and cost on indemnity basis. This case highlights the critical importance of fiduciary integrity in legal practice and the serious legal consequences that arise when client funds are mishandled.
The court found that the lawyer were responsible for handling Felcra money carefully. However, they failed to provide clear record of the money they received. Some funds from bank loan were never collected or paid to Felcra. The court held all the lawyer and partners responsible, even those who had retired or were not lawyers but listed as a partner. The court also decided the lawyer broke their duty of trust by not properly managing Felcra money, not protecting Felcra interest, and being careless. Because of this, the court ordered the lawyer to pay Felcra more than 7 million ringgit with interest and extra damages. The lawyer also have to cover Felcra legal costs.
In these cases, they have highlighted of several key legal principles and ethical guidelines that govern lawyer and client relationship in Malaysia. This principle ensures that a legal practitioner uphold the integrities, professionalisms, and also the accountability in dealing with the clients and also with the public. The first legal principle in these cases is duty of honesty and integrity. Lawyers are bound by the Legal Profession Act 1967 and also the rules of professional conduct, which emphasize honesty and integrity. This is feature of Section 84 of the LPA, where the advocates and the solicitor are acknowledged as fiduciaries, obligated to conduct themselves with loyalty and also the integrity. The case show that a lawyer's highest duty is to the courts and also the public, and also sometimes even above their loyalty to the client. In these cases, as such, the lawyer have claimed not to have known about the project or the misappropriation of the funds. Such claims were seen as inconsistent with the professional duty of honesty and also the integrity. Next, the duty of care and acting in the best interest of the client. Rule 4 of the Practice and Ethics Rules stipulate that the lawyer must provide a proper advice and competency in handling client matters. Lawyers in Malaysia have obligation to work in the best interest of the client. They are obligated to prioritize the client's requirement and also safeguard their rights consistently. Lawyer must act competently and diligently manage the client funds properly and communicating transparently. In these cases, the law firm failed to properly manage the client funds, which was a clear breach of the duty. The court found that the lawyer's conduct fell short of what it is expected. The third one is upholding professional standard. In Malaysia, solicitors and legal businesses are required to adhere to strengthen the regulation to uphold professionalism. If a lawyer engage in unethical conduct or violate this regulation, such as dishonesty, cleanness, or misuse of the client's funds in a wrong way, they may be subject to disciplinary measure. The Malaysian Bar and also the Legal Profession Act have delineated consequences such as suspension, fines, or expulsion from the roles. The system ensures that the society works with integrity, safeguard the client, and maintain the esteem of the legal profession. These are issued by Section 94 to 97 of LPA. Under that section, it stated that the misconduct such as breach of practice, rules, or ethical obligation can lead to disciplinary action, including striking off or suspension. This legal framework underscores the importance of maintaining high standard of integrity. In these cases, the conduct of the law firm and the lawyer, particularly in holding out as a partner and participating in the financial transaction without a proper management and oversight, raises a question about the compliance with the ethical standard. Therefore, any dishonest or misrepresentation could lead to disciplinary action. That's all for me. Now move to the next presenter.
So I'll continue with the legal principles in this case. The fourth principle is liability of partners in law firms. Incoming partners can be held jointly and severally liable for monies in client or trust accounts that were opened before their entry into the firm, provided that those accounts remain under the name of the firm after their entry. The rationale is that the firm's duty to account for client funds continues regardless of changes in its internal composition. This position is consistent with Section 13 of the Partnership Act 1961, which stipulates that a firm is liable for the misapplication of money or property received in the course of its business while it was under the firm's custody. In the same vein, retired partners were held liable if the monies were received during the period they were still with the firm, but were not properly accounted for at the time of their departure. The court stressed that a firm's obligation to account to its clients is not extinguished merely because a partner retires. Rather, liability continues if the breach of duty occurred during their tenure. The fifth legal principle is rules of practice and ethics. The decision in this case also engaged with ethical obligations imposed by the Legal Profession Act and the Legal Profession Rules 1978. Section 94 of the LPA empowers the Bar Council to enact rules of professional conduct and provides the sanctions for breaches, including suspensions, fines, and striking off of the rule. In this case, the failure to properly state the firm's composition on its letterhead constitutes a breach of the Rule 3.02 Clause 1, which mandates that the names of all partners must be disclosed. This rule is not a mere formality, but a fundamental aspect of the legal transparency and accountability. It enables clients and third parties to ascertain who holds principal responsibility in the firm and prevents the concealment of liability. The court also highlighted the broader ethical expectation that lawyers must uphold the integrity of the legal profession. As cited from Majlis Peguam Malaysia against Lim Yen Yen 2019, the public must be able to depend on the honesty and integrity of all legal practitioners in the legal profession, which serves a pivotal role in the administration of justice. The next legal principle is estoppel and representation. Further key finding in the judgment was the application of estoppel principles in determining partnership liability. The court emphasized that individuals who hold themselves out as partners or whose names appear on the firm's letterhead or insurance certificates as such are estopped from later denying that they were partners. In the case the firm's letterhead failed to comply with Rule 3.02 Clause 1 and 2 of the Rules and Rulings of the Bar Council Malaysia, which require that the names of all partners must be clearly stated and distinguished from the legal assistance. The non-compliance created confusion and misled the plaintiff into reasonably believing that persons named on the letterhead were partners. By permitting this representation, the individuals in question assume their legal responsibilities that accompany a partnership role, regardless of their actual internal status. This principle ensures transparency and protects third parties who deal in good faith with law firms based on apparent authority. That's all from me. I'll pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Next, let me take a look how does the implications of the case contribute to the understanding of fiduciary duties and ethical conduct for lawyers. The case reinforces that solicitors, by virtue of their role, are fiduciaries who hold clients' money in trust. As such, they are bound by a fiduciary relationship that demands the highest standards of good faith, accountability, and transparency. Importantly, the court clarified that these duties apply regardless of a firm's legal structure, be it a partnership or sole proprietorship or any internal arrangements. Lawyers cannot escape liability by relying on technical distinctions such as denying their partnership status or claiming ignorance of a branch operations. Court further extended fiduciary liability beyond formally recognised partners to include incoming and outgoing partners, salaried partners who act with authority, and even individuals held out to be partners regardless of their official status. The judgment places strong emphasis on the ethical duties of lawyers, affirming that professional integrity is not optional but essential. Lawyers must strictly comply with the rules and rulings of the Bar Council, including the proper use of firm letterheads and the clear designation of roles within the firm. The failure to honour undertakings, particularly in handling or disbursing client funds, was treated with gravity by the court. In this case, the defendant's failure to properly release or account for over RM8 million was deemed a serious breach. The court highlighted that such misconduct undermines the legal profession's vital role in the administration of justice.
Another impact is impact on legal practice and regulatory framework. In this case, the decision contributes to the jurisprudence that legal practitioner can be held personally liable for breaches of fiduciary duty and professional misconduct, encouraging adherence to the highest standard of integrity and care. This serves as a stern warning to practitioners that they must exercise diligence, transparency in their professional conduct. It may also include disciplinary rules and guidelines issued by the Bar Council, promoting stricter oversight and professional discipline. Overall, this case acts as a catalyst for the enhancement of professional standards, emphasizing that compliance with fiduciary duty is integral to the integrity and effective regulation of legal practice in Malaysia. The last one is emphasis on the core values of professional integrity and public confidence. This case significantly advanced the understanding of fiduciary duties and ethical conduct for lawyers by highlighting the paramount importance of upholding core values such as integrity, honesty, and loyalty. It underscored that lawyers as trusted professionals are bound by a higher standards of conduct where breach of fiduciary duties not only jeopardize the client interest but also erode public confidence in the legal system. The emphasis on accountability and personal liability reinforced that adherence to ethical principles is not merely a procedural obligation but the very foundation of professional integrity. By demonstrating that misconduct can lead to severe consequences, the case reaffirmed that the preservation of public trust hinges on lawyers constantly acting in good faith and prioritizing their clients' best interests, thereby reinforcing the indispensable role of ethical conduct in maintaining the credibility and legitimacy of the legal profession.